Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you for turning out unusually early for an event here at the club. My name is Dennis Normile. I'll be the moderator today, as I have on the two previous occasions when our guest was here with us. Before we get started, once again, join me in the usual routine of making sure your cell phones are switched off or on manner mode. We'll get right to our guest. I'll just mention that his winning the Nobel Prize was unusual in several ways. For one thing, when he conducted his prize-winning research, he only held a master's degree, and he was working with just one assistant at a very small company in the little town of Annan on Shikoku. He subsequently left that company, Nichiya Kagaku, took a job at the University of California, Santa Barbara, where he's a professor of materials science. And he later had a bit of a falling out with Nichiya, initiated one of the more notorious lawsuits involving intellectual property rights in Japan, and he eventually settled with the company for a small amount of money. So, being a researcher working under such circumstances, it was unusual that he tackled a theme that had stymied some of the world's foremost material scientists working at universities and major corporations throughout the world. The other thing a bit unusual about the prize is that normally the Nobel Prize is awarded for very basic research. In this case, they recognize the importance of what was some very applied research. And with that, we'll jump right in. I'd like you to join me in welcoming our guest, Shuji Nakamura.
Okay, so basically today I have no agenda because basically, Dennis and Chang just invited me to come here, and they didn't mention anything about agenda, so I said just yes, and I came here today. So basically I replied to your questions, and basically no agenda, so. Yeah, Q&A is best for me. So just ask me a question, and I can start anything.
Okay, we'll go right into Q&A. And we'll start with questions from Working Press, please. Tim. I'm sorry. Yes, please come up. Please give your name and affiliation.
Tim Horniak, IDG News Service. You've criticized Japanese society and companies in the past about being unwilling to recognize the contributions of individuals in the progress of science and technology in Japan. I'm wondering whether you think this may have changed recently. And just one more question, if I may. What is your prediction for the future development of LED technology? What do you expect from the technology, and how might it change in terms of consumer applications and industry applications too? Thank you.
Okay. So basically, Dennis already talk about my litigation against my former company, using Japanese patent law number Article 35, and so basically So basically, I could win 200 million dollars at the Tokyo District Court. And after that, basically, all Japanese company changed the compensation fee. So initially, compensation fee before my lawsuit, basically typical compensation fee is about special bonus about 10,000 US dollars. That's it. But now after my litigation, after ruling of the Tokyo District Court, basically all of company changes. Very best company is paid few percent of the royalty or license fee, And also another big pharmaceutical company is paid, I don't know, limitless amount of money, like 10, 20 million dollars. It depends on the company. Basically, all of Japanese company changed everything. So it's okay, but the problem is now, Japanese government, Premier Abe, want to change the, they want to, eliminate Japanese patent law Article 35, and all the patent rights belong to the company, like American style. It's bad because all the Japanese companies very worried about the lawsuit from the inventors, same as me. So that's the reason they changed all of the compensation. Now they, Japanese government, no more, we destroy the Japanese patent law Article 35. It's like Americans, all patent automatically belong to a company. So it means the employee can't do lawsuit anymore against the company. So company can't do anything. It's very bad because problem is in Japan, only choice of the employees become a salaryman, salaryman. Just get work for the company and get the salary. But the US is totally different. The US is all employee can get the stock options. It's a big difference. In Japanese company, employee cannot get any stock option, zero. Because the incentive of the American employee is just stock option, not salary. Salary is like to live every day for family. But the most incentive is stock option. In Japan, no stock option, And also in the US, a lot of startup company, but in Japan, no startup company. It's almost impossible to start a company because here is no venture capitalist in Japan. So I don't know why Abe Premier Base, copies the American style to get the patent right, all the company. But before that, he has to change all of Japanese bad, like no venture capitalist, no stock options. So it's very bad. So that's my opinion. Yeah. And also next is the future LED, technology because. So I think LED is efficiency is getting better, but the problem is recently we find there the limitation of the LEDs because with the increase, so using this size of a chip by increasing the input power, LED become very bright. But the problem is that with increasing input power, efficiency of LED gradually decrease. It's called droop. So there is limitation to the input power. So it means that using this size of the LEDs, there is limitation of the bright because we can't increase the current input power at a certain point, more than a certain point. But in the case of laser diode, using tiny, we can increase the input power endless, no limit. And the efficiency is still very high. So recently we found that laser diode is much better than LED in the view of the efficiency also at a high input power under high input power condition. So I think my opinion is in the near future, all of lighting become laser-based lighting because efficiency should be much, much higher using laser lighting. So right now, all of lighting is, they use LED, but in the future, I think laser lighting would replace all of the LED lighting because the efficiency, LED efficiency is like about 50%, but the laser diode, using laser diode, I think 78, 90, it's possible because there are no droop problems. So I think, yeah, that's the future technology.
Okay. Okay, right here.
Hi, Peter Elstrom with Bloomberg News. One broad question, could you talk about the state of innovation in Japan now, both inside big companies and also outside big companies with entrepreneurs and startups? And then second part to the question, if there are three changes that you think are most important to happen in Japan for innovation to blossom, what would those be?
So first question, could you repeat again first?
Yeah, could you give us your view on the state of innovation in Japan at this point, both inside companies, inside major companies, and then outside companies with entrepreneurs and startups? And then the second part about the three most important changes. Thank you.
But the state of the art of the innovation, no? What kind of field that you're talking about? I don't know. It's a very broad question. So state of the innovation is what kind of you're talking about field?
About technology innovation in particular.
Technology for all kind of field. I don't know. Too broad for me, so I don't know. But I think only in a different field, so 2 years ago, Japanese Nobel, Professor Yamanaka invented the IPSL. I think that is a very, very, influential future technology for the all of, medical thing, biotechnology. I think that's a big, innovation, I think. Just my, so, and yeah, too broad for me.
Maybe you could talk about innovation in your own field of material science.
Own field. Okay. In company or startup. I think my field. I think in Japan you're talking about. I don't know in Japan.
Maybe a different way to phrase it is, are there areas of strength that you see in Japan, or are there areas of weakness where you'd like to see, for example, is mobile an area of strength, or wireless?
I think Japan is very good thing. Japan is very good to make the product, and I think Japan is very good at making innovation and making good product. But the most weakness is the globalization. Because in the conservative history, Japanese made a very good silicon-based semiconductor technology. They made very good cell phone, very good TV. They could make very good photovoltaic solar cells, and but they could only sell in domestic, only for domestic market. They couldn't sell all over the world. Always they sell only the domestic market. They couldn't sell outside of Japan, basically. So outside Japan, always, controlled by a foreign company like Samsung, LG, or Chinese company or American company. So problem is Japan is always considered the domestic market. That's a problem, Innovation and in the field of innovation and making products very good because Japanese people are work very hard and they are controlled everything very good. Teamwork is very good. So, but the problem is the globalization is very, very bad. I think that's the problem. So always the reason why globalization is very bad, I think biggest problem is the language problem. Japanese, in the world, Japanese people is the worst English performance, including me, That's a problem. So they are very hated to go to abroad. Only they concentrate on the Japanese market, That's a problem. So I think always yesterday I met the minister of the, Monkasho, I talked English, you have to change the education of the English. English is the worst. English is the biggest problem in Japan, especially for company to sell the product all over the world. So, and that's okay.
The second part of the question was, are there three particular things Japan should do to foster innovation?
What are the three changes that you think are most important to happen to foster innovation? Language is one of them.
Yeah, I think, the number of nobility is very big, I don't know, in Japan, 22 nobility, I don't know. So it's big. So I think in the field of the innovation is okay. And also making a good product is okay. But the only problem, is a language problem. Because like in Asia, like Hong Kong, Singapore, their economy is good because basically their language is English. But in Japan, is in the view of the innovation and I think making good products is very good. Only problem, I think, language problem, because they cannot sell the product all over the world. Like you can, like a summit. You can think concern summit, all prime minister gathered, but all Japanese prime minister is outside of the talking, on the TV, because the problem is English speaking. That's a problem, Always good, important things determined by the behind the scene, no? By negotiating behind the scene. Official meeting is just like no making a decision, not just official thing, So I think for those things, I think English is already, like a standard language all over the world. I think Japanese government think about the, future language in Japan. Still, Japanese people are very, very conservative. If I say English, change the English from Japanese, all people, no, we are Japanese. We have to speak Japanese. But it's okay. But the economy is gradually bad, worse and worse. I think that's a problem. Yeah.
Okay. I know that wasn't 3 ideas, but he gave you 1 or 2. Fujita-san.
My name is Hiroyuki Fujita, and I'm with Kokumin Shimbun, founded by Tokutomi Soho. Conservative, patriotic newspaper. Just regarding what you said, I think there are a lot of good Japanese English speakers, but the mental block that we have is something really putting us back. Let's say compared with Chinese or Koreans. So how can you, as a Japanese person, you're born in Japan, right? Get rid of that mental block that we have as a Japanese, being better off in an international society. And also, I would like you to maintain good Japanese personality or character, still being active and outspoken and international. How can you maintain that, both aspects? Can you understand?
Yeah, mental. I think it's no change of the mental thing, because I think basically I know Japanese people are very mental thing is very I don't know in English, majime, no? Work very strictly, and they make a product very strict. Japanese product quality is best in the world, because all mentally they work very hard, and I think that is a basic Japanese intrinsic mental. So I think no change, even if the language would be changed from Japanese to English, and I think no change. That is almost like a Japanese gene. So I think no change, because it's a very. But the problem is, biggest problem, the economy is getting worse every year in Japan. But the number of Nobel laureates increasing, and also making a product is very good. Initially, like a sample product is very good, but the problem is after making a good product, other company, foreign company immediately copy it, and they sell all over the world, and Japanese company cannot sell all over only for domestic market. I think that's the biggest problem for me. So mental thing is, I think no change. That is Japanese gene coming from a Japanese gene. So.
Okay, right here.
Hi, my name is Erol Ahmet. I have a research outfit, and I'm also editor for the Turkish Chamber of Commerce newspaper publication. Since this subject came up twice, Japanese working hard, and you just mentioned about the genes. So can we say that there is a DNA, and can we formalize it like there are concepts in Japan like Kaizen. Previously, it was total quality control. Can we say that the society somehow develops these methods and formalizes them in terms of understandings like Kaizen? Are these actually the roots to innovation, and can they be replicated in other countries and cultures? Thank you.
I think Japanese DNA, because I live in the United States, and I visited China, or I visited many countries. I think Japanese people's Japanese people are very, very honest. They don't lie. And if I order in Japan, I work for the former company in Japan, no? I draw the drawing, and I send this drawing to the other company to make this equipment within 3 months. And exactly within 3 months, they make this equipment, and I check the equipment performance. It's no problem. But in the United States, I do same thing. I say stick this within 3 months. Never happen. Always takes 6 months. And come here, always there's some kind of mistake, no? In China, same, no? And as a European company, I'm not sure about the middle point. So, but in Japan, always very, in Japan, very strict those things. I think that's the reason why in Japan there are a lot of Nobel laureates, and they can make a very good product. So I think that's the big advantage of Japan. But the problem is language. And I forgot another question. Yeah.
It's interesting because U.S. is as innovative as
I'm sorry, please use the microphone. We're recording for posterity.
U.S. is also a very innovative country, and you just described something. They are both innovative countries.
Yeah.
So can we say that Japan, with this DNA, formalizing its concepts like Kaizen, which is a company-specific thing, is it how actually Japan overcomes the not having resources disadvantage? Can we say that, and can it be replicated in other countries?
I think it's Japanese big advantage, no? That those things. Kaizen means Japanese people very work together to improve something, no? I think big advantage. So other country can immigration is copy it or
any other country that's not Japan, that's not U.S. could be
no.
Malaysia.
I think no other foreign company cannot copy this style, because I told you that is almost like a Japanese DNA. Because probably in Japan people don't lie. In the U.S. usually every day some people are lying. Students come to me. Oh, okay. Students come. They have the exam. And the student didn't come to the exam, and the next day he came. Oh, I was sick, but it looks like okay. I think because Japanese people are very honest and about, especially for making products, those things. So I think Kaizen is coming from Japanese DNA, and I think that's the reason why Japanese product are so quality is good or something. Yeah.
Other questions? Working press? Tim?
Just wondering if you could follow on a little bit about your previous answer about the future applications for new forms of lighting. For example, you mentioned laser diodes, and what forms do you think we could see these taking in the near future? For example, do you see maybe car headlights having laser diodes, or home lighting? Other forms of lighting, are there any specific applications or products that you expect to see first using laser diodes?
Yeah, you told me. So before coming to Japan, I met Audi people, Audi. So they already use laser lighting for automobile headlamp. So basically, already laser diode is for laser projector. And there's 1 week ago, there's a consumer electronics show in Las Vegas, and using laser projector. Laser projector almost like a TV, 100 200. It's so beautiful. And so laser headlamp, same thing. Audi use laser headlamp, laser lighting for headlamp. So means laser headlamp becomes the projector. So for coming car here, and the laser lighting is like this. So usually, automatic high beam, this car is very, this driver cannot see the front because this is too bright. But this is a projector. So only this portion is bright, this portion is automatically become black, no light. So projector. So basically, this light is a projector, always it's controllable light or everything. So it's very interesting. Also, if somebody crossing the street, immediately detect that, this is a projector, so they immediately detect that people cross, automatically, car stop. So I think all it using laser light, it's very intelligent lighting. Yeah. So same thing have and also consumer electronics. So this is a power lamp. It becomes a laser light. If you use the laser light, this becomes also same time projector. So this lighting, the pushing the iPhone, it becomes projector immediately. So you can see the display here, and the touching display, and another display shows something. So all of using a laser light, it becomes intelligent lighting. Yeah. Also, you can say the communication, laser lighting, also LED lighting already used for the communication, and like Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi. So then the LED lighting is modulated for the communication. So it's called Wi-Fi. So we can use internet using LED lighting. But the laser lighting is much better because the laser lighting is speed is much faster than LED lighting speed, modulation speed. Modulation speed is almost 1,000 times faster. So it means internet speed becomes much, much faster. Yeah, those things. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, a hand in the back. I'm sorry, are you working press? Yeah.
Andy Staples, Economist, Corporate Network. Just wanted to go back to your initial comments on the revision of the patent law, and you were suggesting that this would be a negative for Japan because companies won't be offering stock options. What's holding them back from doing that? And maybe related to that, is it because of a lack of labour mobility within Japan? And therefore, what would your advice be to researchers working on groundbreaking technology here? Would it be leave and go and working in a better environment where they're going to get the compensation that they deserve? Thank you.
In Japan, I think in Japan, all of the companies same, and basically no stock option, and if current Japanese government changes the Japanese patent law, and it becomes the old days of Japanese companies, so it means no compensation, basically. And so in that case, I think I recommend all of Japanese employees to go abroad. That's the best way. Because Taiwan is almost the same as American style. A lot of venture startup company, and also venture capitalists here, and stock option. All company can give the stock option to employee. I think like Hong Kong, Taiwan, America, all employees should go to abroad. It's good for the Japanese company globalization, because the globalization is the biggest issue of all of Japanese companies.
Okay. Further questions? Yeah, right here.
Jessica Kozuka, I'm freelance. This morning, I asked my crowd of friends on Facebook what I should ask you at the press conference today. So I'm afraid I have a kind of a personal question to ask, if that's okay.
No, personal, I don't like personal questions. Yeah.
Well, I'll ask and you can answer if you feel like it, and if not, that's fine as well. So several people commented on your change of citizenship, and some of them seem to feel that this was an expression that you had kind of lost confidence or given up on Japan and the Japanese scientific community. And in your last comment, you also talked about sort of encouraging Japanese workers to go overseas as well. So I'm wondering if you could comment on your change of citizenship and how you feel that relates to your sense of yourself as a Japanese and the Japanese scientific community.
Oh, yeah. The reason is I became professor of University of California, and so at the University of California, most important job for professor is fundraising. Fundraising, you know. So fundraising is the most important thing for the professor. But the U.S. government. I think how much? Almost 50% of funding come from the U.S. government. U.S. government means the military and the Navy and the DARPA, those things, you know. So those days, the military, Army, and the Navy thing, military things, funding. Professor need a U.S. citizenship. If I don't have U.S., I cannot get any funding from those military, DARPA, those things, and I can't also do any research for those things. So that's the biggest problem for professor. No, I can't get funding for. Of course, I can get some funding from the industries by collaboration, but in the United States, the military funding or the Air Force, DARPA, Navy, those funding is very important for us. No, major funding. So that's the reason I get the U.S. citizenship, to get the funding from basically the U.S. government.
So purely a commercial decision.
Yes, you're a commercial decision, yes.
Before we come back here, I think, Gerhard, you had your... I know you're not a journalist, but you've written books, so
I know.
We'll consider that close.
But Shuji, we know each other.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Nobel Prize. I have the following question. When you quit to go to US, one of the directors of the German Max Planck Institute asked me, what does Japan think that their best researcher leaves Japan? And so I said, I don't know, I will ask them. So I asked one guy, I had this Sakigake project and stuff, so I knew people quite high in Monbusho. And so I asked him, what do you think that Shuji Nakamura left to US? And his answer was something like, we didn't have a beer for a long time and so on, and I had a beer, and I don't think he had heard about you at all, so he didn't care at all. And then I asked one of my friends at Tokyo University what they think at Tokyo University, why didn't they offer you a job, And their answer was, yes, we discussed it at the faculty meeting, but we decided we wanted to have somebody more ordinary. We don't want to have somebody so exceptional, And so my question to you is, you asked, yesterday you met the Minister of Education, and I saw pictures that on the Culture Day you met Prime Minister Abe, and did you discuss with them? And did, for example, Abe, did he say, I'm so happy you left Japan because you don't fit into our society? or did he say, I'm so sad that you're so good and you left and please come back? Or did he address this at all? Or is he happy or unhappy that you are not working in Japan?
No,
that's my question.
No, we didn't talk about those things at all. Just we greeted together that day, mainly greeting. Yeah, that day. Yeah.
Education minister?
Education minister, we talk about he is now changed all of Japanese education system. So he said current Japanese education system continues almost 100 years, no change, 100 years. So this time he made the decision, I have to change this bad education system. So always I say, always I say the Japanese entrance exam system is very bad. Especially all of high school students, junior high school students, elementary school students, their education target is to enter the famous university, like University of Tokyo, University of Kyoto. That is the final goal for our Japanese education system. Just so to enter the famous university, just they go to cram school. That is the Japanese education system. But so always to remove all of the entrance exam, everybody can go to any university. That's the best way. I thought, and he agrees those things. So.
You know that the education minister has a handicapped son who studies in England, and the education minister said in Japan, my son could not study because only England gives his son the chance as a handicapped person to study, whereas in Japan, the son of the education minister cannot study.
Wow, it's very bad. And Japan has a lot of problems, so system.
Okay, other questions? Right here.
For an aspiring young scientist, physicist, what universities, Japanese or non-Japanese, would you recommend? What type of path? For a young scientist who wants to be very good at what he does or she does.
For
Which university and what kind of path would you recommend?
In Japan?
Outside Japan?
No, outside Japan is mostly yeah, much better. No question. I think for me the American university is the best because American university is all foreign students, all kind of foreign students come to all over the world, and also in the American style they can learn a lot of things, all of cultures from all over the world, and also education system is very good in the United States, and I recommend all of young scientists to go to America, for especially American university, and in that case they can learn English and all kind of cultures, and also most important thing is if all Japanese people stay in Japan forever, and they don't know outside of Japan. So always think, Japan is the best country in the field of science, culture, everything. Japan is the best because Japanese government, it's like mind control, some kind of, Yeah, that is not all countries do the same thing. Like North Korea, North Korean people think North Korea is the best country in the world. America is the same. American government try to do the same thing, but the problem is American people go to everywhere, so it's difficult for U.S. government to control the mind control. So, but Japan is a small island. It's easy. Japanese government to control everything, mind control. So, most importantly, go abroad and they can see the Japan from outside of the country, and they understand. The mind control is happening. Now I can understand the bad thing of Japanese thing. So that's the most important, no? Japanese people have to wake up, about the Japanese bad thing, So I think that's very important. So I think all young scientists go to abroad for at least 5 years. 5 years, I think.
I think he's probably required to say that the best university for material scientists would be University of California at Santa Barbara.
Yes, yeah, right. Yeah, material development, yes. Yeah, top university, yes.
Okay, we have a question over here.
Morning, congratulations. I'm Paul Lavala with the Society of Global Business here in Japan, the Global Gakkai. And listening to what you said at the beginning about how you had to do the lawsuit in order to get some fair compensation. So there's the one issue of the fairness, which is understandable. But if we move away from the fairness, if we think about just the welfare of the future of Japan, what you just pointed out is that the change of policy that is being anticipated to prevent lawsuits, so the company owns all the intellectual property, is going to probably get a number of people, not all, but a number of talented people to leave Japan and invent from outside Japan. Mm-hmm. So I think what you are really proposing, and that the government should really consider, is that by allowing people with talents and their Japanese-ness to work hard and do things successfully, to benefit substantially from that effort, is for the good of society in the future. And given the competition from China and other places, don't you think that changing the compensation for inventors is something that's good for Japan?
Yeah, I think so. Of course, I think so. But Abe-san cannot do that. Abe-san doesn't do anything for those things. Abe-san is now concentrating on how to remove Japanese patent or Article 35. That's it. So of course, yeah, if change the condition of inventors, much better condition, I think that improve a lot for Japanese invention, product, everything. But that's a problem, and so I can think one thing. So among my students, one Korean student there, and he has a U.S. citizenship, and so when after graduation, I asked what kind of job you work, and I recommend why don't you stay in the United States, because you have a U.S. citizen, so you have to work for a venture startup company. And that's case, if startup company can do IPO, you can make a lot of money and a lot of freedom here, but he said, in Korea, my parents, all kind of relatives, asked me to join Samsung. That is dream in Korea. In Korea, young scientists have to join a big company like Samsung, LG. That is a dream for all of Korean peoples. Japan is basically the same. For parents, relatives, dream is son and daughter have to join a big company like Panasonic, NEC, that is dream. In my age, same. But that's the problem, After joining a big company, only choice is permanent salaryman, Salaryman, no incentive work, zero. And nowadays, all of scientists noticed, and salaryman is very bad. But they found that this bad problem is at the age of around 50 or 60s. And this is very bad Japanese system. Why I joined the big company? I had to quit this big company earlier than my age, but already his age is 56. So retirement is waiting. So that's a big problem, So I think, we had changed the condition of the inventors, but I don't know. Japanese government cannot do anything because in Japan and Korea very similar. A big company can control everything, including government. Government is a very big connection with a big company, Japanese government. I think Korea same. So basically, government only for work for big company. So it's basically no startup company. They don't make any system for the startup company. No venture capitalist. That's a big problem.
Yes, we're standing in the back.
My name is Jong-Hwan Kim. I'm from Seoul, Korea. To ask you a question. New semester is just beginning in March in Korea. You just mentioned about Korean students' mind, their mind.
Yes.
Can you recommend a specific book or or which can broaden their eyesight or recommendable?
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you read my book?
What's the title?
Title is Breakthrough with Anger. My anger.
Breakthrough with what?
With my anger. In Japanese, ikai no breakthrough.
Is it in English?
Yeah, there is a Korean version, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, they translated from Japanese to Korean.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, what is the most important thing for would-be scientists, young scientists in Asian countries like Korea, Japan?
Yeah, so, interesting is I'm professor of the UCSB, and almost 50% of students come from Asian countries, 50% from the US and Europe, And all of Asian students look same. Korean, Japanese, Taiwanese, all the same. They are work very hard. And at class, also in the lab, work very hard. And, but also American and European is not hard. They looks like lazy. And they take exam, American and European people's grade is much better. Asian people work very hard, their grade not good. It's at class, no? But lab is totally different. Lab is working hard. So, sometimes the Asian students find a very abnormal result and open a breakthrough because they don't know, but they work like a dog. They don't care about the theory and just work very hard, no? But American and European are very, very smart. They're lazy, but it's very smart and reading paper. Oh, this is lab work is also lazy. But so great, like this. So theory, interview theory, American and European are very good, but the lab is totally different because lab is working hard very much. The theory doesn't work very study, working very hard this direction, Yeah, that is so. I think so. All combination is best. Both we need both styles. So I don't know which is good. So I think so. So basically, both style is good. But the problem is for I think so. I like Asian student working very hard for the entrance exam. So that is for me that's a waste of time, because the U.S. European people lazy. Still great is great, So I think Japan Asian educational system is like a waste of time. So we have to change the Asian education system because targeted only to enter the famous exam. China same and Japan same and Korea same. That is very bad, waste of time, For young age, young people, they have to study very hard for the different thing. Depending on which subject I like, not the entrance exam. So.
How about in the physics?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We have to give somebody else a chance. Other questions from Working Press right here?
Eric Bonard, freelance journalist from Germany. What does the scientific community in Japan, and specifically the two other scientists that were awarded the Nobel Prize together with you, think about your ideas about the education system, the patent law system, and those ideas you're putting forward? And have the other two scientists read your book, and have you discussed any of these ideas with them?
No, I don't think so. So your question is what basically?
What's the reaction in the scientific community to those ideas you're putting forward in your book and in places like this?
Through my book?
What's the reaction
Of my book?
to your book and to your ideas?
Ideas of the...
About education and about the...
From other scientists. I imagine, in my mind, I imagine the other two scientists telling, what do you mean our education system is bad? Look at us.
Yeah, so yesterday I met the minister of the Monkasho, or what's the name? I forgot the name. Shimomura-san. So basically, Shimomura-san said, he said, I totally agree with your idea of the how to change the Japanese education system. He read my book, I know that, because he's talking about how I want to change the Japanese education system, and his idea almost same as idea is coming from my book. I wrote about Japanese education system, so I think now, he's now agree with my idea. It means of my book. So I think that is good for me. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, a short one?
Kokumin Shinbu again. I respect America, American society, American people, but at the same time, Japanese people and Japanese society does not have to be like American society, American people. There are a lot of good qualities. Japanese society, Japanese people. What do you think about the good quality of Japanese people besides being diligent or honest? Like group identity, is it a bad thing? Tacit understanding, unspoken way, no legal settlement. Our society functions still.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of good thing for Japanese people. I told you. I think, making innovation, making good product is very good, and because people are very honest and they are, work very hard. So I think basically, everything's okay, very good in Japan. I know, basically no bad things about Japanese people for me. But the problem is, I told you, language problem. Language problem is just an educational problem, not the Japanese people's problem. Education, the Japanese government problem. Only that one. Others are very, very good. And only very bad thing is the Japanese court system. I tell you, Japanese court system is the worst in the world. I guess almost say Japanese court system, because legal system. Because I experienced the lawsuit in the United States and Japan, and in the United States, if lawsuit start for first and second years used for the discovery process. Discovery process, we have to give all of the evidence to the lawyers. If I don't say no, I don't want to give this evidence, judge says, oh, you lose this litigation. So I have to give all of the evidence. If a lawyer asks, no. In Japan, no discovery process, zero. If a lawsuit happens, we have to throw away all the bad evidence. No problem in Japan. Unbelievable, no? You cannot do it. It's true stuff. And next is in Japan, deposition starts in the United States, deposition. In the United States, we can do everybody, including the president, no? In the United States. President cannot say no about deposition. If a court asks a deposition, president has a deposition. Everybody. But in Japan, no deposition, zero. So no discovery process, no deposition in Japan, zero. So in Japanese court, so judge cannot find what is the evidence, which side is bad one. No, because no evidence, zero. But judge always do the ruling, no? Could you believe? Without anything, any evidence, Japanese, judge do ruling. Unbelievable, no? This is Japanese. And the problem is Japanese mass media, after judge say ruling, and Japanese mass says that this is like a God's ruling or something like that, no? Nobody doubt about the ruling because bad Japanese. Only, if people involved in the lawsuit in Japan, they found that the bad Japanese question, it's worse though, no? Oh my, unbelievable. If I experienced both, Japanese legal system is terrible. So in Japan, basically we don't need lawyers. Because lawyers, at first lawyer needs evidence, but no evidence. So I don't know Japanese lawyer, what kind of working they are doing, Unbelievable. It's crazy. Unbelievable. That I think always my lecture, I always complain about Japanese through the lecture because in Japan, most important, they have to change the Japanese bad legal court system. Oh my, unbelievable. So that's the reason, so if IP lawsuit happen in Japan, basically judge cannot do any compensation fee. Always compensation fee, zero, because always they recommend the settlement. Because no evidence. So that cannot make a very big money compensation because no evidence. So just all recommend the settlement. That's the reason in Japan always become settlement. So that's the reason IP lawsuit, all of company go to United States. United States, through discovery, deposition, they find out which side is bad, which side is good guy. So they make a big compensation for big fine, big money fine. So that's the reason, But in Japan, no evidence, no discovery. So always they recommend the settlement and no money. That's it. So that's very bad, the Japanese system.
Do you have a few more minutes? Do you have a few more minutes?
Okay.
Okay, we'll take a couple more questions. We've reached the end of our time, but he'll hang out for a little while.
Yeah, my question really comes down to...
I'm sorry, name and affiliation.
Excuse me. My name is David Hughes, and I'm freelance in the Internet of Things space, innovation space, entrepreneurial space here in Japan. And the things that you've mentioned as being handicaps to Japan getting back on the right track economically and in the world community, those are things that have been around for 25 years. In the late 80s and early 90s, Japan was talking about internationalization, how to revamp the educational system, improve the English skills.
Yeah.
And very little has progressed in those 25 years. So the problems are known, the problems with stimulating innovation, stimulating entrepreneurialism, venture businesses. Those problems are not, there's nothing new about them. You're a hero to me and my family. I'm from Nagoya, my family's from Nagoya, so we have a lot of respect, but what we have respect most for is not what you've invented, but your willingness to fight back and not let shogunai be a part of the discussion. But right now, shogunai pervades Japan's education system, the financial system, the entrepreneurial community. What do you think is the revolutionary step or the linchpin to creating change, because evolution is not leading to the changes necessary to help Japan progress? Mm-hmm. What's the revolutionary step forward? It's not government. It's probably not large corporations. What is that one thing that's going to help Japan move forward?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good question. I think in no way. I think I always recommend Japan go to the bottom of the economy, and then they can revolutionarily change everything. Like just after World War II, they changed everything because Japan collapsed. So I think Japan has at first collapsed economically. Japanese economy past used to something like this now, and the salaryman's salary is going down, you know. Still, Japanese company complain to the Japanese government. Japanese people are very, very quiet, conservative. So I think salaryman's salary almost becomes zero, and Japanese economy will collapse. In that case, like afterward, they change everything. I think Japanese people are very, very, patient, conservative. That's a problem, In the United States, China, something changed, everyone complain immediately. Korea, same, why always fighting. Japanese people are very quiet, and that's a problem. So I think until Japanese economic collapse, no change happen.
Let's find another path.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chris?
Good morning, Professor, and congratulations on your breakthrough, which will certainly be significant from now on around the world. I would also like to ask...
affiliation, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chris Pitts. I'm an associate member of the club, and I teach at Kyoritsu Women's University. I would like also to ask you a personal question. In your past, studying science and doing the work that led to your breakthrough, what percentage of your motivation was the rewards that were potentially there if you were successful, for example, the Nobel Prize, promotion, money? And what proportion of your motivation was simply the joy of doing science, researching, experimenting, collaborating with other scientists?
Yeah, so basically in '79, I joined my former company after graduation from university. So for past 10 years, motivation is just, solve the problem. I like solve the problem. So research is like solving the problem, no? Always there, after solving this one, next problem, that is like so first 10 years like that. And 10 years later, I went to University of Florida for 1 year as a visiting researcher. So at that time, I had no PhD degree, only master degree. So at the University of Florida, I had to work together with a PhD student. So all PhD students asked me, do you have a PhD degree? I said, no. And they asked me, have you published any scientific paper? I said, zero, no. So they treated me like an engineer, a technician. So in the United States, if a scientist has no PhD degree, all people are technician. Technician is like behind the scene. They help the scientists to get experimental result, and their name appears on the paper. Their name don't appear patent, and their salary is almost 30 or 40% of the scientists. It's very small salary. So they treat me technician. So 1 year later, I came back. So I thought, oh, PhD is very important. So my dream became to get a PhD degree. So after in 1989, I came back. After that, my research incentive became to get a PhD degree. So at that time in Japan, my publishing at least 5 scientific paper, we could get a PhD degree. It's called a paper degree. So my dream became publishing paper. So that is so I started Blue research. My research incentive is publishing paper. So that's our main incentive.
The rest is history.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we do have to wrap up. We've gone past a little bit past our time. I have one little clarification, which I should have made at the beginning, and that has to do with the description of his work that was on the notice that was sent out. Due to some changes that were introduced, there's a slight error in that if you read that notice that is on our website, it says that Akasaki and Amano, working together at Nagoya University in 1993, produced an LED emitting very bright, very blue light. This is not actually correct. The Akasaki and Amano did work. They did produce a blue LED, but it was very dim. It was our guest, Nakamura, who made the breakthrough in 1993, producing an LED emitting very bright, very blue light. So if you write up something from this press conference, check the history, and don't rely on what's on our website.
Yes, good point. Yeah, don't refer to Wikipedia. Oh my gosh, Wikipedia is controlled by bad guy for me, I don't know, some bad guy intentionally changed my Wikipedia, especially in Japan. US also now they are trying to change my Wikipedia, somebody is working to write a bad thing on my Wikipedia. Wikipedia changed by anybody, so that's bad. So please, you good point. Oh my God, I have a lot of problems in Japan, because I have a lot of enemies in Japan.
Okay, and with that, I would like to thank our guest for coming this afternoon. For coming this morning, I should say, and as we usually do, I'd like to give you a one-year honorary membership to the Foreign Correspondents Club of Japan. Please come back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you all for coming.